guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Brittany. A long time no see or talk, really. But anyways, guys, I wanted to come to you with a brand new video, and that video is on how to create custom CC. I am a CC creator. I'm fairly new at creating CC. But I create CC for The Sims 3, obviously, since my channel is a Sims 3 channel. But yeah, I create CC for The Sims 3, and I use Blender in how to create CC. So I just wanted to show you guys on how you can create really cool stuff using Blender and such in a more easier way. There's plenty of tutorials, you know, on here that can help you with that, but if you want like a simple, like simplistic way on how to do it, because Blender is just there's so much to learn in Blender. So if you want to know how to do it a much more simpler way, I am gonna go ahead and show you on how to do that. So real quick, this is an example of a piece of CC that I went ahead and created, and it's pretty much just a glass of, you know, it's basically a dessert in a glass with some whipped cream and a little strawberry on top. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and move on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this, and I'm gonna start out new. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete the block, delete the lamp, but I am gonna keep the camera just in case. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull out this little sidebar right here, and then right here it says background images. You're gonna want to click that, and then go ahead and add images, hit open, and then find what you want to create. What I do is I tend to use reference pictures. I just kind of like Google stuff that I want to make. So like, for example, I want to make a bottle of wine. So I'm going to go ahead and click this bottle of wine. And then as you can see, you don't really see the image, which can be a little confusing. So what you need to do is go to your numpad and press let's see, 5, 7 worked for me. So now I can go ahead and see the actual image, and then I'm gonna go ahead and brighten the opacity so that way I can get a really good view of it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go to add and then mesh, and then you just pick any mesh that you want that you want to work with or you're trying to create. So since I'm trying to create a bottle of wine, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the cylinder mesh. So I'm gonna go 7. All right, 1. That kind of made it straight. So now what you're gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much press G and then shift. Oops. Hold on. Press G and then bring it down to the bottom, shift and then drag. Alright, so now I'm down at the bottom of the image here, and then I'm going to go ahead and press S, and then I'm going to scale that up to the actual size of the bottle or the picture. Alright, so now it's as wide as the actual bottle. Now I'm going to go into edit mode, and then I'm gonna go into wireframe mode, and what this does is that it kind of helps you see all of the little, I'm guessing, vertices. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm still learning. But anyways, you can see it better this way, and the reason I do it this way is because it's a lot easier to pick what I want to pick out. So I'm going to pick the bottom of the cylinder, and then I'm going to go ahead and press E, and then I'm going to go ahead and extrude that. Oops. So hit E, and then click, hit E again, and then S to kind of, if you hit S, it kind of makes it go in or out. Basically, it either shrinks it or makes it large. So I'm gonna go ahead and press S and then shrink that in a little bit, press E again, and then you just keep going until you get the desired shape that you are looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it right about there. Alright, and I'm going to shift and then drag up, and then you to do this, what you do is press B and then drag, and then that highlights the top part of your mesh. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I did at the bottom, but to the top. So basically what you're doing is, all you're doing is pretty much tracing, and there's a whole bunch of tutorials here on YouTube that tell you how to do tracing. They're a little bit more detailed and such, but I find that this is the easiest way, at least for me, because when I was trying to figure everything out, it was just so difficult because everybody was so advanced with Blender, and I'm not. I know some things, but I'm not as advanced as the people here on YouTube that have all the other tutorials. So yeah, so anyways, I'm just gonna keep extruding. I'm gonna kind of hit S, bring that in a bit, hit S one more time, and then there we go. Alright, so now you just changed the shape. You pretty much just changed the shape of the cylinder. It used to be a cylinder, now it's in the shape of a bottle. So that's how I pretty much create CC. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. At the top, I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter and then F, and then that should fill it so there's not a hole in at the top. Let's see here. Let's go to solid, see what that looks like, and then object mode. Alright, so this is what it looks like, and as you can see, it's a little rigid a little bit. So what I like to do is I like to hit smooth. Oh, whoops, edit. Oh wait, back to object mode. I gotta press A and then smooth, and then that kind of smooths it out a little bit and gives it a better look, so it's not as rigid or as pointy. And sorry, but yeah, that's what I do, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily work. So what I like to do is I like to come over here to the modifier area, and then I like to hit edge split, and then it kind of just makes it look a little bit better than before. So yeah. Alright, so that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and go back into edit mode. I am probably going to highlight these a little bit. And I'm going to make that kind of go up some, just so it's not so rounded at the bottom. Bring it in right about there. Alright, now it looks a little bit more flat, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and go into sculpture mode and sculpture it to your desire. I'm just kind of make this look a little, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, I like that. So next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go back to our image. And then we're going to go ahead and go back to wireframe. Oops. And then make sure it's perfectly lined up with the image. Oops, don't hit that. Alright. And I can see. Kind of bring that down a little bit. Okay. Perfect. So now it's completely lined up. And then you're going to drag out the other side by hitting these little 3 lines right here. Pull this in and drag this out a little bit. And then go to UV image editor, like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open image. You're going to open that same image that you traced, so the bottle again. And then on this side, what you're going to do is hit A. Oh, it makes that disappear real quick. So hit A and then U, and then down to project view from map, and that kind of gives you your UV of the model that you have over here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and click this little button, see if that works. Alright. And hit image again. Alright. And then there's the image that we traced. So as you can see, my bottle is a little bit squished. It's not like the same shape as it is over here. So what you can do is hit S, and then you can either hit Y. The Y makes it go up, and then X makes it go wide. So by doing that, you're stretching it out wider, and then hit S again, and then just scale it. So now it is in the shape of the bottle. Hit Y just a little bit. Tend to make it just a little bit smaller than what it is. Right. Let's see. And my bottom is like totally screwed up because I did that, but it's okay. You won't be able to see that part of the mesh anyway. Alright, now that you've did that, what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much give it the same shading as the bottle. So then you go over here and you click texture, and then object mode, and then voila. It looks exactly like the bottle over here. I wouldn't say this is a really good image. I should have picked a better image because it is a little fuzzy, it is a little blurry, but it's okay. So what it does is it pretty much just copies the image onto your mesh, and then it also kind of wraps it around here. So on the back side, you are going to have like a mirrored effect. It's going to look backwards on this side, but that side doesn't really matter. So all you want is this side really. Hit A, bring it up here, and then just scale it down to whatever size you want. You can have it whatever size, but since wines of bottle. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk, you guys. I am so nervous. I'm not used to hearing myself talk, but yeah. So then I'm gonna put it in the middle here. It up to that line, and then I'm going to scale it down move it again. Alright, I think that's like the normal size of a bottle of wine, because you don't want it too big, but at the same time you don't want it like too small. So I might just make it just a tiny bit bigger. And then what you can do is you can bring in like a mesh of another of CC, like just grab like some CC that is small and then kind of like shrink it down to that size so it's more like a realistic size. So I'm gonna drag that up just a little bit so it's holding the line. Make it in the middle. And there we go. Alright, so then edit mode. And then over here, what you're going to do is you're going to go and say, you're going to click new image. And then I like to make the image a little bit bigger. Like the usual size that people use is 1024, but I like to use 2048. Oh, whoa. 2048. 2048, and then click OK, and then it just makes the picture a little bit bigger, but by doing that it also makes the quality of the image a little bit more crisp. So now that you did that, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to these little cylinders, or hold on, should be these little cylinders. Oh, I'm sorry, not the little cylinders. It was the world. So you're going to go ahead and click the world, and then you're going to go ahead and click ambient occlusion, environment lighting, indirect lighting, and then you can raise your samples to whatever you want, but the higher the sample is, the longer time it's going to bake. So if you do want a nicer bake, you can put it at like 10 or 20. For clothing, when I'm making clothes, I set it to 20, but since I'm making just a bottle, like a CC, I'm gonna put it at 10. And then I'm gonna go back to camera, and I'm gonna go under bake, and then I'm gonna hit ambient occlusion 2, and then hit bake, and then it's gonna start baking it, and then you can see when it's going to, how long it's going to take to bake it. Shouldn't take that long. And then while this is doing that, make sure you have like a editing program open, like Photoshop. I use, what is it? Photoshop C6, I think? CS6, I think that's what it is. You can use GIMP or whatever you have, but I just prefer to use Photoshop because it's a little bit easier. Alright, so now the mesh is done texturing. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit save as image, not save image, but save as image, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to say wine bottle, and hit save image, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit export, and then save it as a wavefront object. And then I'm going to just save it as wine bottle, hit export. Alright, and now you are pretty much done in Blender. So yeah, that's how you create CC in Blender. That's how you do it. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so not good at like talking or making tutorials, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go on. Whoops. We're not going into there. We're gonna go into milkshake, and you definitely need milkshake for this. Alright, so now it's open. And then what you're going to do is you're going to import your mesh. And you're going to hit wavefront object. And then you're going to hit it. This is the object that I made. And the reason why it says M is because I saved it as Marvelous Designer. I don't know why I did that, but that's why it's appearing like that. It won't appear like that on yours. So just hit that, and then here is the mesh, and it's going to appear dark or black. So then you come over here to materials and you delete the existing materials, go to face, smooth all, and then there is your mesh, and it's nice and clear and it doesn't appear as blank or black anymore. Go to groups. I'm gonna name it just group underscore base, or you can I'd name it group underscore base, or you can name it group underscore 0, either one, and then export it as, go all the way down, and you need this I forgot what you call it, but it's for the tsrw program where you import or export your meshes. So you need this in milkshake or it's not gonna work. So or the plugin, yeah, sorry. So go ahead and export that, and then I'm gonna say wine bottle, hit save. Alrighty, so we've done that. Now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go back to Photoshop, and then we're gonna hit open, desktop, wherever you saved it. You definitely need this. And you're gonna need this. Oh my goodness, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, so the reason you're gonna need this is because this is your multiplier. It's pretty much like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just your multiplier, so you definitely need it. And then you're also going to need this image too, but it needs to be in the same shape as your multiplier, like the height and the width. So since this is 2048, this needs to be 2048 as well. So I'm going to go ahead to image size, and then for the width I'm going to say 2048 and 2048. Click OK, and now it is the same width and size as the multiplier. Ugh, I wish I could find a better image of this because it's so blurry. I might have to find a different one later, but yeah. So now you're gonna go here, and I'm gonna click a whole new image open, and I'm gonna make this specular map, and all it is just a black square. What this does is it makes the image appear not as shiny, so it's like not super shiny and looks like plastic. And then I'm gonna make another one. This is gonna be the red, and yeah. So now we're gonna go ahead and hit save as. And what you're going to do is you're going to save it as a DDS file, because the workshop or the Sims 3 workshop uses the DDS plugin. So you really need this one in order for the image to work and appear in the program. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and I'm going to go ahead it in here, and I'm going to save it as multiplier. Save. Oh, what? Why aren't you saving? That's weird. Okay, hold on real quick. Save as. Alright, there we go. I don't know what was up with that. So this is what appears. If you have the NVIDIA, it's going to appear like this. So you need to save it as DXT5 and then the 8 over here. So I hit save. And you need to save it for the other ones as well. It takes a minute. Specular. Alright, and then save it. Color. Alright, so now we are done in Photoshop, GIMP, or whatever program you used. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and open Workshop. And this is the old version, mind you. This is the 2.0 version, not the newest version that people use for Sims 4. Because I've heard that if you try to use it, the newest version of the Workshop, it kind of messes up your mesh or something. So you need the old version of tsrw. Great. So you go into create project, and then you're gonna go into object area. Oh, well, you can do it this way, but I'm gonna do it a different way. Sorry. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead into new import, and then I'm going to open up, let's see, this is another object that I made. I'm gonna open up something that I've already made since it's an object. And then here, as you can see, this is a cake that I made. It's very cute. I'm super proud of it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and replace this. So I'm going to go to Mesh. I'm going to hit the green button. And then I'm going to go to Wine Bottle. And as you can see, it's imported. Alright. And the reason it looks like this is because it's not in the same shape as the original mesh. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to clear everything out and put in everything for the mesh that you just created. So since I still have a specular in here and a mask in here, I didn't really need to create those, so I'm just going to leave them. But I am going to get rid of this multiplier. I'm going to hit the empty button. Yes. And I'm going to get rid of the overlay. So, yeah. And then it kind of disappears because there's nothing there. So, hit edit again. Browse. Alright. And then what you have is project contents. Make sure that all the stuff from the old project is deleted, because if you don't, what happens is it kind of tends to make the file like bloated and it can be like a lot and make your game slower. So just make sure you delete the old stuff that's in there. I'm going to delete this. I'm not going to delete that, but I am going to delete this picture. Alright, and then I'm going to leave those in there. And then I'm going to say done. Oh, no, I didn't want that in there. Make that empty. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put in your multiplier. Your multiplier is this picture right here. Hit yes. And then there's the bottle. And then you're going to get the other picture that you use, and it is your overlay. Did I not save my overlay? I did not save my overlay. Huh. So I need to go ahead and save the overlay. Save it as overlay. Save. Yes. Now that you have that saved, you're going to go ahead and import overlay right here. Hit done. And you are finished. Almost finished. So now we're just going to go ahead into the project and the object settings. This is by Live Like Sims. That's my Tumblr name. I'm going to name it LLS Arbor. Let's see, what does that say? Arbor Mist White Zinfandel. Copy to all, hit save, and I don't know what's the price of this wine. You can make it any price you want. I'm gonna say 25 because I don't know how much wine is. I don't think it's that super cheap. So then you gotta go by functions. I'm gonna set it in decor. I'm going to put it under miscellaneous decor. I'm going to put it in sculptures and miscellaneous objects. Yeah, I will put it in the kitchen. It's going to be under accents. Nothing else. And then have this ticked right here. And then it's under small, and then it's full rotation. So that way when you get it in game, I'm assuming it'll be able to rotate completely. So yeah, and then that is it. That is how you make your own custom CC for your game. And then this right here, I haven't really figured out how to get rid of the shadow of an existing piece of CC. I still have to figure that out, but I'll get back to you guys when I do. But yeah, that is it. So let's just go ahead and I need to go back in here. Hit export to a Sims 3 pack. Put it in here. Save it like that. Hit save. Export it, and you're done. And then all you have to do is download it or put it in your game, see if it's working, if everything is right, and then you will be good to go. So here it is right here. I'm gonna say this is the multi Sims 3 extracting pack. Extract it. And then now you have a package form of the Sims 3 pack. So anyways guys, I hope you liked this tutorial. I'm sorry if I was kind of like all over the place and wasn't making a lot of sense. I'm just not used to like talking on camera very often, and I don't know. I just say gibberish a lot. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.